Hi, I'm Mark, and you're listening to Headstraight. Hi, you lot. Welcome back. And today we're going to be talking about something that a lot of people don't pay enough attention to. How to build a supportive network that actually works. Now think about it. Life's full of really difficult stuff, and even if you're a total pro at handling things on your own, having people around you who really understand you can make a huge difference. But a support system isn't just some Instagram group chat or a list of contacts on your phone. It's all about building connections that feel real, and it goes beyond just hanging out with friends when things are easy. Now what we're going to do today is we're going to break down how to get a better support network step by step. Now, whether you want to get closer to the friends that you already have, find new people who understand you, or just get more comfortable reaching out, we're covering all of it. Now, I'm not here to tell you to be more social or just put yourself out there. Building a support network takes effort, but it's worth it if you're tired of feeling like you're going through everything alone. So let's get into the specifics. The first step to building a solid network is to get clear on what you actually want and need from people. Support means different things to different people. Some people need someone to listen when they vent. Others need help finding solutions to problems. And some people just want someone to show up when they're going through it. Think about times when you've needed support in the past. Who was there for you? How did they help, or how did they not help? What did you wish they'd done differently? Now this is a good way to figure out what real support actually looks like for you. Now if you're looking for people who can give good advice or help you keep things in perspective, then focus on building that type of support network. If emotional support matters most, look for people who are good listeners and can handle serious conversations without making it all about themselves. Also, assess your current circle honestly. So take a hard look at the people that are in your life right now. Think about your friends, family, classmates, teammates, whoever you spend time with. Ask yourself a few questions about each person. Are they genuinely supportive? Do they listen when you need them to? Do they show up for you when things get rough, or do they fade out when you're not fun to be around? Now this is not about judging or cutting people out completely, but you need to know who's actually there for you and who's not. Now it's easy to fall into the habit of thinking, I've got loads of friends, I'm so supported. But if those friends are only around when things are fun, they might not be the kind of support that you're looking for. Write down a list of people you consider close and ask yourself how they actually make you feel after spending time with them. Do they make you feel drained or energized? Now if someone consistently leaves you feeling worse or less understood, it might be time to stop counting on them for emotional support. Real support networks aren't one-sided. To build one, you have to be willing to offer support in return. A solid network is a mutual thing. Support goes both ways. Ask yourself, are you showing up for your friends? Do you listen when they need someone to talk to? Do you make time even when it's not convenient to you? If you want to strengthen existing friendships or build new ones, be someone who's reliable and present. Pay attention yourself when people are going through something, even if they're not saying it directly. Make it known that they can count on you. Show up for them in little ways. Send a text message to check in. A quick hangout when you know that they've had a rough day, or just listen without judgment. When you're there for others, they're more likely to be there for you too. Now make sure that you tell people that they're in your support network. Now when someone knows this, they're much more likely to make time for you when things get rough. Sometimes people just don't realise how much you depend on them. So when you make contact, they might just treat it like just another message instead of understanding that, to you, it's a really big deal. So to build a solid support system, let these key people know that their support makes a difference. This isn't about being needy. It's about being honest and practical. If they know that they're in your inner circle, they're more likely to respond quickly and make effort to be there when it counts. Now, here's some tips on how to get that message across. Be straightforward about their role. Say something like, look, I need you to know that you're one of the few people that I can actually count on when stuff gets really bad. And it's really important to me that I can come to you when things get rough. This is simple but powerful. It makes it really clear to them that they're a priority to you, and that in return, you're hoping that they'll make supporting you a priority when you need it most. Make sure that you explain what their support means. Giving a bit of context can make a difference. You might say something like, honestly, just knowing that you're there for me makes all the difference. Like when I'm having a rough time, just having someone to listen or even just tell me what they think really helps a lot. Now, this isn't just a compliment. It's giving them insight into why their time and support matters to you. And it can make them more willing to go out of their way to help because they know that it has a real impact for you. Now, ask for help directly when you need it. Don't be afraid to tell them when something's important or when you need a quick response. Say something like, hi, I really need to talk. Can you spare a few minutes? Or, I need your opinion on something. Could you just help me out with this? Being direct can help them understand the importance of giving you priority time. Make sure that you show appreciation to reinforce the connection. When they do make time for you, thank them, but make the thanks real. A simple, thanks for making time for me, that really meant a lot. Reminds them that their support isn't taken for granted. People are more likely to stay available and prioritise you if they know that you genuinely appreciate their efforts. Now, why this all matters. Telling people that they're a key part of your support network isn't just a nice gesture. It's setting up a structure where they know to take you seriously when you reach out. It also gives them a sense of responsibility, knowing that you've chosen them as someone you trust and rely on. When you're open about the role that they play, they're more likely to respond with priority and commitment when you really need it. Now, take small risks to build deeper connections. Now, what do I even mean by that? Building a stronger network doesn't happen overnight, and it definitely doesn't happen without you taking risks. Now, this is probably going to mean that you're going to need to open up more than you're used to. Let's say you've got friends, but you keep your deeper stuff locked up. You might be worried that they won't get it, or maybe you just don't want to seem needy. But the truth is, letting people in just a bit more can go a long way. So try sharing a little of what you're actually dealing with. Start small. Mention something that you're struggling with and see how they respond. If they listen and try to understand, that's a really great sign that they could be part of your support network. If they shrug it off or make it all about them, maybe they're not the right person. Testing the waters can help you to figure out who's worth investing in emotionally. Now, this is really important. Understand when you need an adult. Now, there are going to be times when even the best friends and mentors won't be enough. And this is when you need to call in an adult. Now, it might not feel comfortable, but it's sometimes the smartest thing for you to do. If you're in a situation where you feel unsafe, whether at home, school, or anywhere else, you need someone who can take action. Now, adults have resources, experience, and authority that you and your mates simply don't. The key is finding someone who you trust. Now, it needs to be someone who listens properly, takes you seriously, and doesn't jump to conclusions. And here's the thing. Don't wait until things get out of hand before reaching out. Asking for help from an adult isn't a sign of failure. It's taking responsibility for your own well-being, and it may be a case of keeping you safe as well. One of the things that you can try is to seek out people with similar goals or interests. The best support networks often come from people who have same goals or passions as you. Shared interests can bring people together in a way that's hard to find elsewhere, whether you're into music, sport, art, or even a particular subject at school. Finding people with similar interests can lead to real connections. So look around for groups, clubs, teams, or events related to what you're into. Even online communities can be a good way to connect with people who understand what matters to you. When you find people who are passionate about the same things, you're more likely to find people who understand where you're coming from and can support you in ways that feel meaningful. Now, sometimes it's easy to think a support network has to be people your own age, but that's not true. Mentors or trusted adults can be some of the most reliable people in your network. They're not involved in your day-to-day stuff, which means that they can offer advice and perspective without getting caught up in all the things that you're dealing with. Think about teachers, coaches, family friends, or even older siblings or cousins who you trust. Mentors can provide a different level of support because often they may have already been through a lot of what you're facing. If there's someone in your life that you admire, don't be afraid to reach out to them. Ask for advice or just talk to them about what's going on. You might be really surprised about how much they want to help. Now, sometimes it's really difficult to get comfortable about asking for help, so this one's a big deal. A support network is absolutely pointless if you don't actually reach out when you need it. Now, if you're the type that keeps everything inside because you don't want to bother people, now's the time to work on that. Asking for help doesn't make you weak. It makes you real. Practice asking for help in small ways. Now, you don't have to dump all of your problems on someone, but just let them in a bit. Text a friend when you're having a rough day. Ask for advice when you're feeling stuck. The more you get comfortable in reaching out, the easier it'll become to rely on your support system when you really need it. Now, not everyone in your life is going to be supportive, and that's okay. But if someone consistently leaves you feeling stressed, anxious, or down, it might be time to set boundaries. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to cut them off completely, but equally, you don't have to go to them for support either. Set limits on how much time you spend with people who drain you. You don't owe anyone unlimited access to your time and energy. Surrounding yourself with people who are good for you means sometimes saying no to the people who aren't. Be honest about how people make you feel and protect your energy by setting boundaries where you need to. Now, building a support network takes time. You won't suddenly find 5 people who totally understand you and want to be there for you overnight. Friendships and support systems develop slowly, and it takes consistency to keep them strong. The more you put yourself out there, show up for others, and make an effort, the stronger your network will get. So, just a final thought. Building a real support network isn't about collecting people or having tons of friends on standby. It's about creating a few strong connections that really count. When you're open about what you need and you tell people they're in your support system, you're building something solid. You're letting them know that their time and support matter, and you're creating relationships where both sides know that they can lean on each other. Now, it takes time, consistency, and honesty, but every little effort you put in strengthens those bonds. So a strong support network can make everything that you're going through feel more manageable, and you'll know that you're not going to go through it alone. So keep showing up for others. Be real about what you need in your corner, and make sure that they know why they're important. This can be a real game changer when life throws its challenges your way. So, now that we've covered how to build a real support network, here's a question a lot of people don't feel comfortable talking about. What if I don't feel safe? Not feeling safe can mean a lot of things. Maybe you're dealing with an unstable situation at home, feeling pressured by people around you, or just not feeling secure in your own mind. In the next episode, we're going to dig into what it means to find safety when things feel out of control, and where to turn if you're not sure who to trust. If you've ever felt like there's nowhere to let your guard down, then this one's for you. Don't miss it.